Hello student. In this video I'll be discussing about the type of industry. So in this picture you can see there are different type of industry or factory. As you can see, manufacturing industry. Our finished products, where does it come from? It comes from the, first of all, it comes from the raw materials, from the sources, and then it goes to the factory. From the factory it goes to the to the market, where we get our finished, where we get our goods from. So in this topic, in this class, we will discuss about what are the different types of industry. So here in the classification of industry, how it is classified, what is the difference between one industry to another industry. It's basically it is the difference between one industry and other industry is measured according to the nature of the product. It's what they are produced. Some industry may produce paper, some industry may produce car, some industry may produce furniture. So it depends on what type, it depends on the nature of product, and also the number of employees, like how much they are employing, how much people are working in the particular industry. Also the value of the capital involved, how much they are invested in the for a particular products, how much they are spending the money. Qualities of the employee, whether skilled or unskilled laborers are employed in a factory or in an industry. Then the wage rate, how much money they are giving to the employees. Also value of the product, and also the nature of raw materials, what type of nature of raw materials they are using. So according to origin, production process, and nature, uses, manufacturing industry are conveniently divided into several types. So here we are going to see what are those types. So classification of industry is subdivided again. So first, it is divided based on labor. Based on the supply of labor, you have again divided into three: large scale, medium scale, and small scale. Then on the nature of raw materials, what are supply of raw materials, you have heavy and light. On the basis of ownership, you have private sector, public sector, joint sector, cooperative sector, and multinational. On the sources of raw materials, you have agro-based, mineral-based, pastoral-based, forest-based, and miscellaneous, you have village, cottage, consumer, ancillary, basic, capital intensive, and labor intensive. So we are going to see into details. So first of all, on the basis of strength of labor, how much labor they're employing in that industry. So on the basis of the strength or the supply of labor, you have large scale industry. So large scale industry are those which employ huge number of labor in each unit. So you have, for example, iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry employ huge number of laborers. So that type of industry are called large scale industry. You have another one is medium scale industry. So medium, which have neither small or large number of employee. So in that you have medium number of employees, not much nor less, and then they have investment. The investment is also not much, it's about 1 million rupees. So those type of industry are called medium scale industry. Example, you have cycle industry, radio, television. Another one, on the basis of strength of labor, you have small scale industry. So here you have small scale industry are basically run by individuals, and also which are also the one which employ a small number of labor. So you have example in village, small scale in cottage and small village industry. Then we'll see on the basis of raw materials and finished product, industry are divided into two. You have heavy industry and light industry. So heavy industry are those which uses heavy or bulky raw materials, and also the products are also of the same category. So you have iron and steel industry, and light industry are use raw materials like raw materials and produce like finished products. So they really employed female labor. Example, textile industry, electronic fans, sewing machine, etc. And on the basis of ownership, you have private sector, public sector, joint sector, and cooperative sector. So under private sectors are those which is owned by individuals. It is not by public. It's not by government. It's just individual. Examples, you have of Bajaj Auto or Tisco, which is run by individuals or firms. And public sector are those which is owned by the state government. You have an agencies like Bharat and Heavy Electrical Limited, or Bilal Steel Plant of Durgapur Steel Plant, or even Indian Railway are public sector. So the best example you can see from here in the Indian Railway, which is a public sector. The other one, on the basis of ownership, you have joint sector. So these industry are jointly by the private firms and the state or its agencies, like Gujarat Alkaline or Oil India Limited. So it is joined by the private firms and the state combining. The other one you have, on the basis of ownership, you have cooperative sector industry. So these industry are owned and run by the group of people who are generally a producer of or raw materials of the given industry, such as sugar mill owned and run by farmers. And in industry are also classified on the basis of source of raw materials. You have, on the basis of the supply of raw materials, you have agro-based industry, mineral-based industry, pastoral-based industry, and forest-based industry. So under this you have agro-based industry. What are agro-based industry? Are those industry which obtain raw materials from agriculture. You have cotton textile, jute textile, silk, sugar, etc. So where the source are directly from agriculture. So those are called agro-based. The name itself tell us it's agriculture-based industry. Another one, you have mineral-based industry. So mineral-based are those that receive raw materials primarily from minerals such as iron, steel, cement, etc. You have another one is pastoral-based industry, are those which depends on the skin of animals, bone, horn, shoes, dairy, etc. You have another one, you have on the basis of supply of raw materials, you have forest-based industry. Those industry which get the raw materials from the forest for paper, cardboard, rayon, resin, tanning of leather, etc. And on the basis of miscellaneous industry, these are classified as village industry, cottage industry, consumer industry, ancillary industry. So you have village industries are those which are located in villages, and those industries are actually primarily centered to the needs of the rural people. So those industries are made actually to provide the basic needs to the people, and also they usually employ local machinery such as oil extraction, flour grinding, and agricultural implements. On cottage industry are those which artisans set up in their own houses, work with wood, cane, brass, stone, etc. Example like handloom, khadi, and leather work. You have consumer industry, which convert raw materials or primary products into commodities directly used by the people. Example like bakeries. Ancillary industry are those which manufacture parts and components to be used by big industry for manufacturing heavy articles like truck, buses, railway, engine, etc. So this the end of the today's class. Thank you.